So in CSS, we will discuss in this video CSS colors. Now this is very important video. Don't skip this video because in this video we will be covering all the types of color in CSS. So let's start from the beginning right here. Now what is CSS colors and background colors? So the CSS color property is used to set the color of a text inside the element. So this is our element and I want to use some colors, such as I have a text within h1 and I want to give it pink color. So I'll be using color property. Now this color property have multiple values and there are three main types of colors in CSS. Now this is the very important part of this video, that is RGB, hexacode and HSL. Now let's discuss one by one. So let's start with the first value, that is RGB. So RGB stands for red, green, blue. It means that whenever we want to specify colors using red, green, blue color values combination, then this value will be used for color property. And here you'll have to use after color property RGB, and there you have to specify some values. Now these values are built in, you don't need to worry about, you don't need to memorize them. It will automatically memorized in your memory the moment you start practice in your development career. So whenever you want to display red color, then you have, while using RGB value, then you have to specify 255,0,0. What does it mean? This is the built-in rule for any color in RGB, that red color highest value is 255 and the color and the other values will be set to 0, so that it could display the red color that you want on any element. But if you want black one, then you have to specify 000, and if you want to display white color, then you have to set all the values to 255, 255, 255. Now there are some example we will discuss. So let's jump into VS Code. But before jumping there, I will show you something. This. So this is CSS tutorial. If you haven't accessed this playlist, access it and watch all the videos right from the beginning. So let me create here a new file by the name of tut. This will be tut10 underscore CSS underscore colors dot html and enter. So let me close the other one and let me zoom this one. So first thing first, let's embed the HTML boilerplate. So shift exclamation mark and enter, and it will automatically give you this boilerplate for HTML. So let me give a title such as CSS colors and types. This should be colors. Okay. Now within this body, what we will do, first let me create h1. In that h1 let me write for the sake of tutorial just that CSS colors and types of colors in details. Okay, details. Control and enter so that you could redirect to the new line. Now after that, let me create here a div with the class of color. Let's give it my color. You can give any class. Now within this I will use h2 and I'll be saying that I am the color that you want to set. Okay, great. Control S. Go okay, right click and just open with live server. As you can see, we have this. So let's do some styling. Now let me create here another file by the name of style10.css. Now first let me link this after this title. So I'll be saying here not style, there will be link and link CSS. So link here in place of style there should be our file, that is style10. Now within this, first I will target this h1. So what I will do, okay, let me close this session from here. Now first here let me use h1, and after that I will be saying that the color of this will be green. Okay, green, enter. Okay, Now if I reload it, but let me open it with live server. As you can see, it is green. So let's center it. We will use another property here for now. I will show you everything, all the values of color. So text align will be center. Now if I hover my cursor on this color, it will give me this color box, you can say color window. So it's mean that I can directly change color from here. If I click on this, it will give me the RGB value of each color, as you can see at the title bar of this box. That is 98, 12, 128 and 0. And this color specifies this one color, as you can see right here. So if I again hover on this cursor and I want to give it a blue one, so it will, you can change here right after moving the cursor within this box. It will automatically change the RGB value for that color. Now you don't need to memorize all these things. It will automatically memorize in your memory with the passage of time. So let me open with live server, and your color will be changed from the first one to this one. Okay, now what I will do, that was the specific name for each color. Okay, let me remove this RGB value for now. That was what specific name for each color, every color. So suppose I want to give it a red one, so I will give red. Okay, or I want yellow one, so I will give yellow. So this is very simple for beginner to give your element any color while using the name of that color. But with the passage of time, you will be using some advanced versions such as RGB, HSL and hexacode. So let me open again this. So we have this value. So if I want to display red one, what I can do, I can type here red one. Okay, red color name, but we will be using RGB and enter, and automatically it will detect this, but we don't need this because I want red one. And if I have memorized the red one values for RGB, then I must be familiar that 2200. So this will be red, as you can see here, automatically detect. Now if I want to give a black one, that what I will do, I will set all the values to 0, for white all the value to 255. So first let me set all to 0, and it will be black, as you can see right here. But if I want to give it white color, what I will do, I will use here 255, this should be 255, and all values you have to set to 255, and it will be white. Okay, so for now let me give it a red one. Okay, so this will be red, and just open your page with open live server, and it will be red. Okay, now let me close all these tabs. It will take my RAM. Now what I will do, so let me open this. So if I use these values, now I don't know, suppose I don't know all these values, I haven't any idea about that values. So you can take guideline from Google, just type there RGB, all RGB values, and it will specify with the name of color. So suppose I'm going to put these values 238, 130. Let me make it a bit side by side. Let's do that all side by side. Okay, so let me make it a bit this, something like this. Okay, so we will do everything side by side. Now here within this style page, I will change this value. So suppose I want the third one 60. So let's put here all these values. This will be 60, and the second value will be 179. So 179, and the third value will be 113. So let me give it 113. Now this will be this color. As you can see, if the moment I hover on this box, it will suggest here the values. So you can use all that value. So let me open with live server, and we will see the changes. As you can see, we have these colors. Okay, you can use the other values as well, but for now what I will do, I will let me maximize this. This time we will use hexacode value. So you can use either RGB values or hexacode. So this time we'll be using these values. So to display any type of color, then you have to specify first hash that will represent the hexacode. After that, the code of any specific color. Now all these codes are built in, you don't need to memorize them. You will be able to memorize everything with the passage of time. So for to display black one, then you have to specify hash, after that 6 zeros, and if you want to display white one, then you have to use hash and after that 6f, and all for the other colors. So let's use all this practically, so side by side, and let me make it a bit bigger. Now this time I will first, let me style this div. So I will implement all these color for div. So I have a class of this div by the name of, what was the name of that div? My color. So let me copy this and just paste it right here. Now first give it border, such 3 pixels solid and black one. Okay, now let me make it a bit bigger. So 3 pixel solid black, and after that what I want, I will say that its width will be 500 pixel and its height will be, let's say, 250 pixel for now. Now if I open it, first let me open it. As you can see, we have this div. Now what I want to change its background color. So we will use background property, background color property. Now either you can give just directly the name of the color, such as I want pink, so you can give just the name of that color. I want blue, so I can give blue one, but we will be use this time this value. So what I want to give it a black one, so I will be using hexadecimal value. So hash, after that 6 zeros, so 1 2 3 4 5 6. As you can see, it is black. Okay, so control A, not control S, go to your HTML page and right click and open with live server. Now we have this div with black, and within this we have a text, and this text has color black as well. Now the second thing, if you want to change the color from black to white, then we have to specify here F6F. Okay, open it and it will be white. Okay, this is white now, the background color. Great. Now I will be using this value 3CB371. So let's use it. So 3CB and after that 371. Now this value represents this color. Now once again I will say that you don't need to memorize all these values. These are the built-in values. There are so many senior developers that don't know about all that values, but with the passage of time, the most commonly used value will be memorized in your memory when you create real-time projects such as real website, e-commerce website. So with the passage of time, you will be able to learn all these values. So if I say that 6A5, the last one value, let's say what is the color of that. So 6A5, as you can see, I haven't memorized all this value. I have already typed here. So I haven't memorized all this value, and no one is able to memorize all that value. So you have to use Google search. So 6A5ACD. Okay, now this will be this what type of color this called be? Bangan color. I don't know what type of color it is. So this is the color, and this is the hexadecimal value for this color. So let me open with live server. Okay, this is the background color. Now let's use the h2 tag within this div, and let's change its color as well. So now we will use some color on this. So for that, what I will do, I'll be using here h2, and within this I'll be saying that the color will be of this. Let's say just copy this value, not this one. This time we'll use another color. So let's say we will use this one, EE hash EE and at 2 EE. Okay, so this is the pink color for and this is the value of pink color in hexacode. So again, go to your HTML and open with live server your page. As you can see, we have changed this color. So let me zoom in. Okay, Now the third value that is very important, will be using that value. Okay, so enter, and this time let me make it maximize. HSL, hue, saturation, lightness. H stand for hue, S stand for saturation, L stand for lightness. So what does it mean? So you can give it directly the name of that color, or you can use RGB values, or you can use the previous value that was hexacode. Now apart from that, there is another value that is HSL. This is the type of color as well, so you can use HSL. Now this is very important. Here, while using this value, you can make your color transparent, saturated, you can give lightness, anything while using some values. Now there are three main points that you must have to remember. Whenever you want to saturate any color, it means that the saturation can be described as the intensity of a color. Now I have this red color, as you can see right here. I want to make it a bit transparent, so I can use this HSL value because it's provide me some values for shades of gray or transparency or anything. So let's say I am going to use this value, the first value is 0. This will be the color. The 100 represent here pure color. This will the pure color that you want to use, and the 50% will be the gray color, a bit, you can say transparent, just a bit. So let's use it. Now instead of this background color, instead of using this, let me remove it. I'll be using HSL. Now within this, as you can see, it's highlighted. First will be hue, that will be set, that is 0. The second will be saturation, that is the pure color, so 100%. And the fourth one will be lightness or transparency, in other words, but in most cases it will be lightness. So give it 50%. So it is red, but we have give lightness, it is lightning. This is the pure red color, but its lightning is 50%. But if I say that 10%, as you can see, a bit dark, as you can see, it's dark. Let's say make it 30. Now it will be a median color, a combination of light dark and light green, sorry, once again I forget the name of the color, so that was red. So it will be light red and dark red combination if I give 30. But if I give 50, it's mean that it will be lightning, you know, lightning. But if I give, let's say 90, as you can see, I have changed the color. So these are some specified, these two values are specified, you have to use each time whenever you want to use any type of color. So let's go to your HTML, just right click and open with live server. As you can see, we have changed the background color of our div, and this is red but with lightness. Okay, amazing. Now the next thing, let me change another color. This time instead of 100, let me use 80%. Let's see what will happen. So what will happen, we will see. Let's say there I am going to use 80%. So this will be the hue, again it's 0, and this will be the pure color, that is 80%, and this will be the lightness. Okay, as you can see, now this time the color is not much red and its lighting is not much such, as you can say, it's a bit transparent, just a bit transparent, just because we have changed from 100 to 80. It's mean that we minimize the pure color value from 100 to 80. Either you can do that, or let's say this time let me change, max all the changes. So this time from 80, let's say we use 60%. As you can see the changes. If I make it further, if I make further decrease, let's say 20%. Okay, let's see. And this time we change the shape of our original color because we have made it from 100 to 40 or 30%. So it's why there's the color is automatically changed. Okay, So guys, that was all about color in CSS. We have discussed what is color. We have discussed you can use the original name foreign type of color, such as I want to give white color, then I can use white. I will type there white and it will be white color. And we have learned that how you can change directly that color right there. Just hover your cursor on that color box and it will automatically pop up a new box. There you can change the color. After that, we have discussed the RGB, hexacode and HSL value. So if you like my videos, then subscribe this coding world channel and access this playlist at CSS. We will discuss everything, all the properties about CSS in the upcoming videos. Okay, so see you in the next video.